Well, hello. It's nice to see you all. I'm Reverend Laura Horton-Ludwig, and most of the time when I see you, I am zooming in from my home in Virginia. I serve as your mostly remote minister, but 5 times a year I get to come and be with you in person, and it's just lovely to be here today on this beautiful morning in Santa Cruz. First of all, I want to say happy Earth Day to you all. And on this Earth Day Sunday, I would like to ask for your help with our chalice lighting. The words of our chalice lighting come from the United Nations Environmental Sabbath Program. And there is a repeating line that I would love for you to join me on. We're going to say it a few times, and it is, "We join with the earth and each other." We join with the earth and each other. So could we try that together? And then I'll continue, and I'll cue you when you come in. So let's try. We join with the earth and with each other to bring new life to the land, to restore the waters. Yeah, thank you. I'll tell you when. To restore the waters, to refresh the air. We join with the earth and with each other to renew the forests, to care for the plants, to protect the creatures. We join with the earth and with each other to celebrate the seas, to rejoice in the sunlight, to sing the song of the stars. We join with the earth and with each other to recreate the human community, to promote justice and peace, to remember our children. One more time. We join with the earth and with each other. And so we join with the many and diverse expressions of one loving mystery for the healing of the earth and the renewal of all life. And so we light the chalice. So today I have a story which is true. I want to tell you about a place on earth where people and trees cooperate to create living bridges. This is a real place. This is not something out of a fantasy novel, though it could be. This is in the Khasi Hills in eastern India. And by the way, this part of India is also home to one of the largest communities of Unitarians in the world. Did you all know that? There's a ton of Unitarians in the Khasi Hills. Long story, the Khasi Hills Unitarian tradition came into being about 150 years ago. It was founded by a guy named Hajam Kisar Singh. Fascinating story. I can't go into all the details, but I do want you to know that today there are about 10,000 Unitarians in the Khasi Hills in India and about 40 congregations. So this is a place where we have some cousins. One thing to know about this part of India and the Khasi Hills is that it is mostly mountains and rivers. So it's hard to get from one place to another. Y'all know something about mountains. You can't just go straight. You got to go twisting around. And in this part of India, there are not that many roads. There are just paths. And most of the paths from one village to another have to cross over these mountains and rivers. So what do we need? Bridges, right? Another thing to know about this area is that it rains a tremendous amount. Unlike here, the Khasi Hills is the rainiest place in the world. It gets up to 45 feet of rain each year. Not inches, 45 feet. I mean, can you even imagine? So all that rain can really mess up the kinds of bridges that we Western folks know how to build with metal and concrete. There are landslides and floods all the time. So human constructed typical bridges would probably wash out quite a lot. So how do the people of the Khasi Hills build their bridges? Well, they build them with trees. So I'm going to share my screen now. Give me just a moment to call this up. I've got some pictures for you. Okay, hold on. Oops. Hold on, Zoom. Here we go. Okay, are we seeing it? Almost. There we go, check it out. So this is a series of photos by Prasenjit Yadav. And what you're looking at is a bridge made of living tree roots. People call this tree a rubber fig tree. It sends out roots that are extremely stretchy, and some of the roots grow not into the ground, but into the air. This is the natural expression of the tree. And the Khasi people partner with this stretchy tree sending its roots out into the air to make a living bridge across a river or a ravine. So this process takes quite a long time. Let me show you another image. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here is a picture of a little baby bridge. This is, so the first thing that happens is the people have taken one of the stretchy roots and have tied it to a tree across the river, a little knot in the roots. That is the very first step in creating one of these living bridges. Over time, the roots grow and the people keep helping them weave together. And so now I want to show you a close-up of what the roots look like as they get bigger. Okay, so this is a network of roots starting to come together and eventually form a surface that human beings can walk across. So this is the sort of interim stage. And now let's take a look at a mature living bridge. Look at that. I know, is this just amazing? I love this so much. So this man is carrying a piece of bamboo on his shoulder to help shore up and strengthen the bridge. And the people do also use bamboo to create railings so that it's safer for people to walk on. However, I'll show you one without any railings. Oh my gosh, this one looks so scary to me. Look at this. Just walking across it. I would be so scared. I'm a little scared of heights, so that would not be a good bridge for me. But this person has it under control. So, any guesses on how long you think it takes one of these living bridges to grow? Any thoughts? How long might that take to grow a bridge like this? Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It takes 10 to 15 years for these new trees to even start sending out aerial roots. So 10 to 15 years before you even see these little baby roots. And then it takes many more years for the roots to grow long and strong enough for people to walk on. And they also need constant tending because they are alive. So the people pack the roots with leaves as a way to fertilize the roots, to give them energy to live and grow. And that means that some of these bridges are hundreds of years old. Hundreds of years old. Okay, I'm going to show you one more picture just because. Okay, you can see, oops, is it coming across? Nope. Yeah, what just happened? We just glitched. Let me go back and forth again. We're glitching, people. Let's see. You know what? That's weird. It's stuck. Anyway, what you would see, oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. So you can see on the top, you can see this bridge and a person walking across it. It's kind of small. And there's this beautiful body of water and somebody is swimming. So this is how it works. These bridges are alive. They're constantly growing in partnership with people and the earth. Living bridges. Thanks.
I now have a reading from Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Robin Wall Kimmerer is an environmental biologist, a member of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, and a renowned writer. This is from her book. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:35 a.m., I am usually in a lecture hall at the university expounding about botany and ecology. One otherwise unremarkable morning, I gave the students in my general education class a survey. Among other things, they were asked to rate their understanding of the negative interactions between humans and the environment. Nearly every one of the 200 students said confidently that humans and nature are a bad mix. They were well schooled in the mechanics of climate change, toxins in the land and water, and the crisis of habitat loss. Later in the survey, they were asked to rate their knowledge of positive interactions between people and land. The median response was none. I was stunned. How is it possible that in 20 years of education, they cannot think of any beneficial relationships between people and the environment? Perhaps the negative examples they see every day, brownfields, factory farms, suburban sprawl, truncated their ability to see some good between humans and the earth. As the land becomes impoverished, so too does the scope of their vision. How can we begin to move toward ecological and cultural sustainability if we cannot even imagine what the path feels like?
I want to share those words by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Kimmerer. I'm tongue-tied today. I want to share those last words again. How can we begin to move toward ecological and cultural sustainability if we cannot even imagine what the path feels like? So this is why I wanted to show you the tree bridges. I think they are just so incredibly hopeful. People working with the trees, a mutually beneficial partnership that can last for hundreds of years with just one single tree. This is possible. Human beings can partner with the plants, with the land, with the earth to bring about well-being and goodness for all. This is possible. Does it sound strange? It sounds strange to a lot of us because I know there are so many reasons in this moment for us to feel discouraged about our relationship to the earth. I'm not going to try to convince you everything's fine. We know it's not fine. We know that right now our country is going in a backwards direction that is unsustainable for our planet. But today, just for a few minutes, I'm going to ask us to shift our focus so that we're looking not at the ways that humans are harming the earth, but we're looking at our power to cooperate with the earth, focusing not on what's wrong, but on what's possible. Because I believe we do need to prepare for what will be possible on a national and global scale when the political scene changes, as I believe it will. We need to be ready. So in the meantime, let's imagine what is possible right here, right now. Robin Wall Kimmerer tells a story in her book, Braiding Sweetgrass. Maybe you know it. This is a story about the sweetgrass plant, which is traditionally harvested by indigenous people from her home place, what we call upstate New York. Her people tend the sweetgrass and harvest it and braid it into baskets. And Kimmerer tells the story of an experiment she ran. She's a biologist, and she ran this experiment at the request of an indigenous woman named Lena, who came to her concerned that there was less sweetgrass growing than there had been in the past. Lena had a hypothesis that it might be that some people harvesting the sweetgrass by pulling the plant up by the roots instead of leaving the roots intact, as she had been taught to do, that may have been the source of the damage. So Robin Wall Kimmerer asked her grad student, Lori, to run a controlled experiment in the local sweetgrass fields. Lori set up a square grid and left half the plot squares completely alone. These were the control group. Then in 1/4 of the squares, she harvested the grass by pulling it up by the roots. And then in the remaining quarter, she harvested it as Lena taught her, carefully leaving the roots intact. The results astonished her because it turned out there was almost no difference in how well the plots that had been harvested flourished. Whether the roots were pulled up or not barely made any difference. The grass in all the harvested plots grew back more lushly than they had when the experiment began. So that was a surprise. That was a surprise. But the even bigger surprise was that the grass in the control plots, which was not touched at all, that was the grass that failed to thrive. It grew so thickly that it choked itself. A tangle of dead stems choked out most of the new living stems. There was just no room for them to grow. Now, Lori's professors and colleagues had all told her, everybody knows harvesting a plant will damage the plants. But now, with this experiment completed, Lori had shown the conventional wisdom was, in fact, wrong. The sweetgrass needed to be harvested in order to thrive and grow. In fact, it needed the partnership of human beings in order to live. When I heard that story for the first time, something healed in my heart that I hadn't known was broken. Like Robin Wall Kimmerer's students, I could name for you so many ways we human beings have damaged the earth. I'm sure you could too. We could just list them off right here, and we would be correct. Like you, I've worked pretty hard the last few years to become conscious and aware of the ways that we're harming our planet. I have been grieving over climate change, species extinction, and I have felt a fear grow in me that maybe things will never get better. Maybe our planet will never heal, at least on any time scale that I can imagine. And yet, what if there are possibilities that I just can't imagine yet? What if human beings really can be part of the solution, not just part of the problem? What if our hands can heal, not just harm? What if? A while back, I saw a story in the paper that absolutely astonished me. This is about a problem that is pretty common in coastal Virginia, where I live. The problem is, what do you do when there's a storm and the power goes out for days at a time? Is that an issue here as well for some people? Just a little bit sometimes. You might have experienced that. Where I live, some people have backup generators, propane-powered generators, but they are quite expensive. And when you don't need them, which is like 99.9% of the time, they're just sitting there. However, did you know, because I didn't know this, maybe you all do, but I did not know, if you have an electric car, you can use it as a backup generator. Did you guys know that? Yes. You did? Okay, it's just me. Well, I'm going to share with you my excitement. I did not know this. If you have an electric car, all you need is a power strip and a sort of a inverter gizmo. It costs about $150. And if you have this thing, you can literally plug your refrigerator into your car's battery and it will power your necessary stuff in your home for about 3 days. I just think that's unbelievable. And okay, I know the federal government is wreaking havoc with the electric car market, nor do we love Tesla super much at this moment. But you know, what we know is that high capacity batteries are getting cheaper and better all the time. The move to renewable energy is unstoppable. No matter what the federal government does, it is unstoppable. Thank you, by the way, Californians, for your leadership on this. I want you to know that all over the country, people are looking to you and appreciating what you're doing, the way that you are using your power to help our entire country. It matters. I'm so grateful. And I'm telling you all this anyway, not because I think electric cars can save the planet all on their own, but because I want to offer you hope. And specifically the kind of hope that I experienced in the moment when I heard about this completely new to me use for a known technology, which is both good for humans and good for the planet. It's the same hope I experienced when I learned that sweetgrass needs people to care for it. And it is the same hope that I experienced when I saw those extraordinary living tree bridges in the Khasi Hills, the home of so many of our Unitarian siblings in faith. This is the same as the hope of our own Unitarian ancestors who said to the world over 200 years ago that the human spirit is not hopelessly evil and corrupt. It is resilient, it is creative, it is capable of caring for life and caring for the planet, both in ancient ways and in new ways yet to be invented. Yes, the planet is changing in ways that frighten us, but we are nowhere near the end of the story. So how will we partner with our earth to ride these changes that are coming? May it be with creativity. May it be with hope that burns right through our despair, and with love. Blessings to you all and blessings to our planet. Amen.